Hi everyone, this is Disha Dioxide and you are watching CEO Secrets, what made them successful and how we can make it. Today I am here with Mr. Sudhanava Dhananjaya, who is the CEO and founder of Excelsoft Technologies Private Limited. We will talk about his journey and his experiences. Were you a brilliant student or were you a backbencher, sir? And when did the turning point towards your success happen?
Yeah, I was not a brilliant student. I was a backbencher, but my academic performance was better than average. It wasn't in the top 10%, maybe it was in the top 30% or so. And it happened, the turning point happened when I was in 11th grade, first PUC.
Fairly early.
Fairly early. I was surprised that I did very well academically in first year PUC. And that was from then on, it was an upward spiral. I got motivated because I got good scores at that point in time when I started doing well.
Wonderful, sir. How can an average student become a CEO, according to you, sir?
Yeah, I will answer this in two parts. One in my own context, because I was an average student in school, and only then became a good student of sorts. At that point in time, entrepreneurship was not a known word. Today, it's fashionable. It's a very common word on startups and entrepreneurship, etc. At that point in time, it was about choosing a career which is rewarding,
which is stable,
which is stable. So in my time, it was about trying to get a bank job in a public sector bank or a government job. Then you are
set for life.
Correct, set for life. So that was the attitude generally. So I did go and appear for public sector companies, exams, NTPC, BHL, etc. Got through, and you go for an interview, and then you realize the job is not as exciting as
people make it out to be.
Yeah. So and then that was also the time when private sector was beginning to happen. So there was this option to get to the private sector, and so I did. My first job was with Kirloskar Electric in Mysore. I didn't enjoy it. It was different from what I had expected, because they were starting a computers division there. Didn't move fast enough. Then I went to Wipro. That was good for a couple of years. Was working on something which is systems engineering. And then came this opportunity of a World Bank assignment, which was multidisciplinary in nature. Even though it was rough, you had to be away in camps where food is not easily available, water is not easily available, very backward areas where
unfavorable conditions.
Yeah, poverty everywhere. But with World Bank funding, they were trying to change it, build dams, build irrigation networks, so that crops can be grown and people's socioeconomic profile can improve, and make potable water available to remote areas, so health profiles can improve. So it was multidisciplinary in nature, but there was a lot of automation. There was a lot of writing of software, etc. You couldn't do that unless you were in the field. So I had to live there. I did live there for about 6 years. But that's best part of my life, best part of my career, because it was so multidisciplinary. You understand hydraulics, you understand how a dam operates, you understand crop soil combination, so many things. And then you use computers to solve many of the problems. So I did that for 6 years. Then I had to take a break forcefully for 5 years because I met with an accident, and then after 5 years, getting back to a corporate job was difficult. And I said, "Let me do a startup." So that's how it all started.
It was an accident-based.
Yeah, circumstantial.
What is the best advice someone gave you, sir?
Well, there are two people. They're both very well known. One was Chris Gopalkrishnan. He was. He's a good friend now. He was a friend of a friend. And then I was struggling to find what I should be doing as an entrepreneur. You could build websites, you could build application software, so many things. It was about software. So I was confused. And he said, look, my father, who's a co-founder with me in this business, had spent 4 decades in education. I had spent all my time being a techie. So he said, if you put these two together, then EdTech is the space you should choose logically. EdTech was still not a very well-known. It was not an industry where you could find reports and stuff like that. So, and then he went on to say, look, don't become another services kind of company. We were, they were all already arrived, Infosys, TCS, and many of them, large services companies. He said, don't operate on cost arbitrage, build products, innovate, build a strong value proposition where you can, the price that you can command in the market is commensurate with innovation and products. So that was for me a turning point. Yeah.
So it was valuable,
very valuable. So it got me to focus on EdTech. It got me to focus on building a product company. It got me to focus on innovation, how to price, etc. So that was probably the best advice I got. And there are several others, but I would rate this as the best.
Wonderful, sir. What would you tell your younger self, sir?
I would tell my younger self, don't be too shy and timid, which I was. So that's why I said I'm contextualizing to myself.
Yes, sir.
It's if you're too shy and timid, you don't network with people.
So you don't meet people.
When you don't network with people, you don't learn life and things about life. I think it's very important to chart one's journey in life to be networked at different stages in life. It could be when I was in school, it could be when I was in college, or much later. Much later, I started networking because I understood the value of networking. I also understood the problems of not networking. So that's one thing I would tell myself. 2 is be well read. It's okay it's good that you do well academically because the system needs you to do well academically for you to move on to something else. But it's important to have an interdisciplinary exposure. I may be biased from my own work experience, but for me, reading a lot, it doesn't matter whether it is life sciences or environment or the cosmos, a lot of general reading. Apart from just the textbooks and curriculum related books, has helped me a lot in my journey. And so that's one thing I would tell myself. I should have done it earlier in my age, in my life. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, what is the mistake you see students making today at this point in their life that will affect their careers in the future, sir?
Yeah. The advantage they have is they are today in an age where there is information explosion. We read about it every single day.
Yes, sir.
And it's only increasing with
the abundance of information is just increasing.
Yeah, abundance is increasing. The diversity of information is increasing. Opinions are also diverse. There are so many opinion makers on social media. So you have television, you have internet, which which also brings OTT as an endpoint. Social media. Today's youngsters are quite social on their phones and on internet. So it's important to be careful, have a clear goal of what you want to get of this new information age, the plethora of information that's available. Make sure it is not put to any misuse or disuse. Use it constructively to learn and focus on what you want to be. How I wish something like this was there when I was growing up, but that's a big plus for today's generation. The biggest mistake is using social media for only fun. I mean, we should have fun. Fun is very much part of life. If we don't have fun, we can't make life happen. But you should know how to calibrate, limit that fun and the quality of fun. And there is a lot of other stuff
opportunities
there we should leverage on. So I see that there can be an improvement in that mix amongst younger group.
We should have a balance between the fun and the productivity we get from social media.
Yes. Yeah, for instance, I know when we sit around, I'll give you an example. Sit around the dining table, a family of 8. Each one is on their phone, maybe on a Facebook account or an Instagram account, I don't know. And they're all saying they're having a family dinner. Yes, they are around a dining table as a family, each with their
own device
and maybe Facebook or Insta, and telling the world that we are having a family dinner. To me sounds a bit amusing. So one of the things which we shouldn't be doing as youngsters.